Good. Pull up a chair. Okay, you see that list. You may learn some things about Dad too.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, I got them out of order. Well, we already know what your name was at birth, Gilbert William Dill, right?
That's right.
You were born in.
Wilmington, no.
Were you born in Chatsford or Wilmington?
Chatsford, Pennsylvania.
And do you remember the hospital, or were you at home?
At home.
Oh, so they had a midwife?
My mom worked for the doctor. He delivered Mary and I. And both times we were at home. I'm sure it was home.
You remember the doctor's name? Did Mom ever say? Dr.
Bell.
Oh, is that the one your mom worked for also?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can I turn that down?
Yeah. Turn it off in the middle. This lower one.
Okay. Were you named after a relative or a family friend? Why did they choose your name?
Not that I know of, just Gilbert William Dill.
Yeah.
That was it.
Did you ever have a nickname?
Everybody called me Bill.
Yeah.
Ever since far back as I remember.
Okay.
But my old man was Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
The other friend of ours was Gilbert, no relation. And I was Gilbert. So Mom said, we're going to change your name to Bill. Your middle name's William.
Okay.
So that stuck with me all my life.
You had a sister, right?
Yeah, Mary.
Mary E. Dill.
Yeah.
Did they ever tell funny or embarrassing stories about you?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Did you ever tell embarrassing stories about your sister?
No.
No. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an airline pilot.
Oh, okay.
When I grew up.
Yeah.
When I was growing up. That's what I wanted to be.
Uh-huh.
And I changed my mind.
What was your second choice? What else did you think about?
That's about it. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah. But any job I could get to make a living, especially mechanic,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be the second one.
Your mom's name. What was your mom's name?
Rose Elizabeth
Spawn, right?
Spawn, yeah.
And I think it's in that sheet where she was born. Was it in Wilmington also?
I don't know where she was born.
What did I do with that sheet?
I got it here.
Oh, well, when did she pass away? You were 14?
No, she passed away.
Well, you were out of high school, weren't you? About,
Yeah.
so you would have been about 17. Were you about 17 years
Yeah,
old?
in that range.
So if you were 17 and you were born in 1835, right around 1935.
Yeah.
What's your most vivid image of your mom? How do you remember her?
Beautiful woman.
Yeah,
She always had a smile on her face
yeah.
all the time.
Was she a kind lady or was she strict?
Beg pardon?
Was she kind? Was she lenient or was she strict?
I don't get you on that.
Was she strict?
Strict?
Yeah,
Not too bad. You know how to get things done, how to get done.
yeah.
You know, but, I could take my time. You know, and not rush on anything. Far back as I remember.
Uh-huh. And your dad's name, we know him, Gilbert.
Gilbert?
Yep. And I think on there, we figured out when he was born. In those little boxes, Mom, they're an eye chart, but and when he passed away, Mom said Uncle Tui contacted you, Dad. Dad, when your dad passed away, you had to go, where did you go to sign the papers or whatever? Was it New York?
I think so.
Where was it? Do you remember?
Can't be marked.
About when was that? Was it in the 50s?
You know, I should have all answers for everything, and I don't.
That's okay. Do you know where your folks met?
They met in Delaware,
Uh-huh.
in Wilmington.
Yeah.
Do know that much, but it's that's about it.
Now I know he left when you were young, but before then, do you remember any family times, any good times with them? Or was it always a conflict because of his nature?
No, it's good times,
Mhm.
especially when we went on a picnic or something,
Yeah.
we're all together. And other times why it was kind of rough.
Yeah. Well, he had a temper, and he didn't treat you and your mom too well, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were some of the most valuable lessons your mom taught you?
To be polite and nice to everybody.
Yeah.
If you meet a woman, good afternoon or good morning, or a man, good evening or good afternoon. Always Mr. or Mrs.
Mhm. Well, I'd say it's stuck with you, wouldn't you, Mom?
Yes.
Dad's very polite, always says hi to everyone. And so I am a lot like that. I say hi to everybody.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care who they are. Hi, how you doing?
Mhm. Makes a difference.
Might be miserable.
Yeah. So how about your grandparents? You knew your grandmother.
We lived with Grandma
Uh-huh.
until she passed away. And I don't know what, got an apartment or something to ourselves,
Yeah.
as far as back I can remember.
What was Grandma like?
Grandma's real nice.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. There wasn't another one like her.
Did she speak good English, or did she speak broken
She
English?
spoke German and English.
Okay.
And when she spoke German, she meant what she said.
Uh-oh, you knew you were in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But when she spoke in English, why, it's broken English,
Yeah.
you know. But German, she spoke, her mom spoke a lot of German.
Mhm.
Because I don't know what they're talking about. But,
Do you remember any of the phrases that stuck with you?
big fun.
Do you remember any of the phrases that Grandma would say in German that kind of stuck with you?
Not offhand.
Yeah. Her, the spawns. I can
Spawn.
trace the spawns all the way back to Peter and Christina. And they lived in Wilmington, Delaware, and they ran a bar. They would be your great-grandparents.
Yeah.
Or great-great, I forget. Peter and Christina, probably great-grandparents. They were first generation from Germany, and they were here, they ran a bar in Wilmington,
Oh, yeah.
Delaware. What did your grandma do for a living? Do you know? Was she a farmer?
Well, both farmed there for a while.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't know your dad never mentioned his family.
Not too much.
Yeah.
I remember Nelson, his brother, had 2 sons. That's the only thing I know about the family.
It's probably surprising to see he came from a family of 14 kids and never talked about them. Yeah. Did he ever say where he came from? Did he talk about?
I mean, I thought, remember, I think from England, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure now.
Uh-huh. So I hope to find that out. I can only go back on the tree so far on the Dill side.
Yeah.
And nobody else on the internet has taken it any further back than them either. So maybe that's where they came over on a boat.
Yeah.
Could be. Did your dad ever
I know
say?
Grandma, I think, was born 2 weeks before they hit port.
Oh,
They're from Germany.
yeah.
I do know that much.
What's your favorite memory of your grandma?
Grandma,
Yeah.
good natured, always laughing.
Did you ever go on a trip anywhere with them? Do you remember any,
We never went on, just out little picnic trips to the, out to the, we had picnics.
mhm.
That's about it. No long picnics.
And this would have been in Chadds Ford?
Chatsworth.
Yeah. Did she pass away before you moved to Delaware?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Did she ever tell you any stories that you remember?
No,
Did they ever talk about your great-grandparents?
no.
So we
When
know,
we were kids, we'd sit at the table, the oldies at the big table. Us kids had the little table on the side. We
Yeah.
never knew what was going on
sure.
in the house. The whole house could blow down and we'd never know the difference. We couldn't know anything about it. But the only thing we just catch down then was different things happening, but that's about it.
Mhm. Do you know why they came to this country?
But our life,
Yeah.
it was getting rough over there, and so they evacuated and come over here.
So this question is, how far back can you trace the family tree? And I think we're back to the mid-1800s, late 1800s, on the one side, and then back to Germany in the other side. So, what kind of house did you live in as a child? You remember your house?
Just a regular house,
Did it have an upstairs?
no upstairs, just downstairs, no basement in it.
Uh-huh.
At that first house we lived in, I remember.
Yeah. Is that the one in the picture? The picture that you have, is that the house you lived in?
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. Is that your front porch?
There's nothing on the house. I know it had a porch went around,
Mhm.
3/4 around.
And is that the property we saw when we went back to Chadds Ford?
Yeah.
And we saw a structure in someone's backyard?
Yeah.
Is that where you think your house was?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that near? It was near a covered bridge, and was that the Brandywine River?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess you know more than I do.
Well, I just remember it from our trip. I had so much fun,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And so how long did you live there?
There,
Yeah.
I'd say about 8 or 9 years.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And then Grandma passed away, and then you moved back to Wilmington.
Moved back to Wilmington, yeah.
How far is that from that house?
Wilmington?
Yeah.
Just like go across from Wilmington to,
Across the river, basically?
yeah.
Okay. And why did you move there? Why did you move from Chadds Ford to Wilmington?
I have no idea why we had to move.
Mhm. You had a big kitchen or a dining room as well? Where'd you eat at? You have a big kitchen?
Picture?
Kitchen,
A kitchen,
Yeah.
a good sized kitchen.
yeah.
Had everything in it, cook stove, wood,
Mhm.
all cold wood burner.
If you'd have seen pictures of Barb's kitchen where she grew up with 5 kids and 2 adults, it was literally less than this square,
Yeah.
including the appliances and the table to fit 7 people. They all sat on a stool and never knew the difference.
No, I know we had a, not too bad a sized kitchen and had like a picnic table in there.
Mhm.
You could sleep with a set of 8 people.
Yeah.
The grown-ups sat there, but we had our little table over there on the side where the kids sat.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I never knew what was going on.
Well, all families did that back when he was a child.
You know, in fact, I started answering the same questions for me, and I was the same way. You know, the adults got the dining room table or
Yes.
at the kitchen table,
Yeah.
whatever the prime real estate was, and the kids got to sit together, you know, within eyesight, so you didn't cause too much mischief. But it was never the formal. You know, it was always the
No.
least formal
So
setting.
we never knew what was going on.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know.
the families were big, so they needed 2 tables.
Yeah, yeah.
And naturally put the adults at one table and the kids at another.
Same thing at Granny Hills. The whole kitchen table would be full of food,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and you got premium seating, or you just grabbed something and went outside. You know, the kids got the least real estate. So how did you heat your home? Was it the wood stove?
If I'm not mistaken, it was at a furnace down in the basement.
Oh, okay.
And you use wood or coal, whatever you could get,
Mm-hmm.
mostly wood. The color fellow that stayed with us, he had a little, down by the spring house.
Mm-hmm.
He had a room there where he stayed at.
Okay.
And he cut our wood, saw our wood, and stuff like that.
So was he a boarder? Is that what you call him, a boarder, or was he help?
Yeah,
He's
I
a
guess
helper.
just to help out it.
Because they had
We didn't pay
9,
no
10
money.
acres of land to come.
Okay.
He had a place to stay.
Yeah.
He could stay with his sister up the road from us a couple of miles, but I understand he wouldn't stay with her because she was too bossy.
His name was Bill. Do you remember his last name?
No, I don't, Mark.
Is he the one that would, somebody else stayed with you that nobody could get the donkey to move, but he could?
Couldn't
That
do
was
what?
Bill.
Oh, it was Bill. He couldn't get the donkey, nobody could get the donkey to move, but Bill could?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you thought maybe the donkey would smell the whiskey on his breath? Was that the deal?
I don't know.
Because he made his own out of whatever was available where he could get juice out of. I remember him, your dad telling about potatoes and fruit or anything. He'd make wine, I guess.
Oh, okay. So he was an entrepreneur. He knew how to make his own liquor, huh?
Yeah.
So he was making moonshine right there in your shed,
Probably,
huh? Yeah.
probably.
Huh. Did you always have electricity?
No, no. We didn't get electric until the time we hit electric was when we hit back to Wilmington.
Okay. So that must have been quite a
Big deal.
big deal, yeah.
Oh, you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
You had to pull that light off, turn that bulb down. There's always something, Mom.
Yeah. Did you have a phone then too?
No, until late we had the phone come in.
Okay.
It's one of those wall phones.
Uh-huh. But you got that while your mom was still alive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
'Cause she worked for Dr. Bill
Mm-hmm.
downtown. And he's the one that delivered Mary tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that much, that was true.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he-
electricity was a big deal, huh?
He wanted to marry her and she wouldn't marry him. She had to go marry my old man.
Oh, okay.
But he was really like my mom,
Mm-hmm.
the way I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's the way life goes.
Sure.
Not much you can change about it.
So when you got electricity and you moved to Wilmington, it was a big deal. What,
Oh, yeah.
you know, what?
You had to pay for it though.
Yeah. So what did you like about it? I mean,
What I like about it?
yeah,
They come in and flip a switch.
yeah.
The rest of the time we're using candles or kerosene lamps.
Yeah. Candles, sure.
Yeah.
Where did you store all your food? Did you have a cellar?
Icebox.
Icebox?
Yeah. You get a chunk of ice every other day or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Put it in top.
Did you have to go get it or somebody bring it
No,
to you?
it's delivered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, delivery man.
How did you get water? Did you have running water or did you have a stream?
Oh, we had running water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it always a good supply or did it ever run short on you? Did you ever run short on water?
Not that I know of.
So you didn't have to conserve it?
But we always had a well,
Okay.
and that was workable. What'd you have up in your farm? A well?
Yeah. Granny Hill had maybe it was tough on the top of a mountain. It's better to be a little lower than the top of the mountain because her well ran dry. Or maybe it just wasn't deep enough, I don't know. She always had to, when I thought back of how we conserve, you know, you could only brush your teeth in a container of water and use just enough to get your mouth washed. You didn't run the water while you were brushing your teeth like you do today. So what were your duties as a small child? Did you have chores? What kind of chores did...
Oh, we all had to clean up. A lot of times had to rake up the leaves in the yard.
Yeah.
You know, help out. I didn't do it all.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that.
So you had 8 or 9 acres, huh? Good size farm.
Yeah.
Who cooked all the meals? Did you have to help, or was that Mom and Granny's
Mom
job?
and Grandma.
Yeah. They were good cooks?
Oh boy. She's German.
Yeah.
And that German food, I'm telling you, sometimes good.
Did you buy or make your own clothing? What was that arrangement?
Mom and Grandma made a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a pair of pants for me, is short pants, you know.
Yeah.
Or a little shirt or whatever. A lot of it was bought. It's hand-me-down stuff, a lot of it was for
Sure.
me. But Billy, he's a little bit bigger than I was, and when his mother get ready to throw away the shorts or all good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and Mom would take them and shorten them and let whatever she had to do to save on the clothing.
So in that picture, there's an older kid, a younger boy, and then a baby in the carriage. Maybe the older boy was Billy, your cousin,
Billy.
and then you, and then your sister in the baby carriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one, the girl you see on the side, could have been Margaret, his sister. But I was older, a little bit older than Margaret.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When did you learn how to cook, and who taught you?
Me?
Yeah. Or did you learn yourself?
I don't know how to cook for myself something, that's about it. Nothing fancy.
Yeah. Now you were always mechanically inclined and you always knew something about cars. Who taught you that?
Yeah.
Who taught you?
The old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when his car needed to have work done, he'd bring you out and show you what to do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch him, you know.
What were the first things he taught you?
Lift up a wrench and a screwdriver.
Yeah. You just hand them over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember what first thing. I know something to work and make a living.
Yeah. Well, probably changing tire. Those are simple,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You know, and changing spark plugs. Imagine you had lots of flats to fix.
Oh God,
Back in the
those
day.
tires didn't last long.
Yeah.
Run over a spike, a rough road or something. Pow.
Yeah.
That goes.
What kind of car did he have when you were a kid? You remember?
I don't know. I think it was a Dodge.
Yeah.
I think it had more patches on that tube than there was tube. Got it every time that old wheel go like this. I mean, patches on
Yeah.
it.
So how old, that would have been, did he buy it new or buy it used?
No, used.
Used. So it would have been a car from the 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wooden spokes.
Wow. Times have changed, huh?
Yeah.
So you didn't keep, the
Yeah.
question is, did you keep in touch with distant family? But you really only had a very close family.
Yeah.
Your mom, your grandma, your dad, your uncle,
Yeah.
Bill, Aunt Margaret, and your
Yeah.
cousin Billy.
Billy. Yeah.
Did they live far from you?
No. About 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
No. Were
We
they
all
in,
lived right around the same section.
were they in Chadds Ford also, or were they over back in Wilmington? Did they live in Chadds Ford or in Wilmington?
In Chatsworth.
Oh, okay. Did you visit them often? Did they come to see you, or you go
Oh,
to see?
yeah, yeah.
How did you get the mail?
I'm trying to think now. We had a mailman,
Mm-hmm.
but he never come to, he didn't come every day. Mostly Saturdays, he'd have a load of mail
Mm-hmm.
delivered. But that's the only way. Didn't have no postal like we have here.
Yeah.
You got a post office box, you know. Didn't have those days that I know recall.
You remember the street you lived on? What was the name of the street you lived on? Do you remember?
Offhand, Mark.
You used to tell us a story of, it was near the property of DuPont?
Oh, DuPont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how close?
They owned the street we lived on. They owned about every property there, about 4.
Mhm.
And finally, before we moved, they bought everything.
Okay.
And Grandma sold to DuPont's son. Bought our place.
Okay.
I do remember that.
Mhm.
That was the place in Chadds Ford.
Chadds Ford, yeah. And then you used to play with the DuPont kid once in a while,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah. We'd be down to the Brandywine there on a Saturday or Sunday, and the chauffeur would bring him down.
Hmm.
He had to have somebody with him all the time.
Yeah.
And we'd play around there an hour, a couple hours. The show was okay. By the time we leave, so they left.
You got to go to a birthday party once, didn't you?
They,
You went to a birthday party of
Oh,
his
yeah.
once. Yeah.
we were all surprised on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, what a shindig that was.
Did he go to a private school or he go to public school?
Me, I went to public school.
But DuPont, was he a private school?
DuPont, oh, he's private.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So it's funny, you know, it's like he didn't have any friends. You know, with his elite status and all the circle they put him with, he preferred to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Wyeth the painter lived
Wyeth, yeah,
in that area too.
yeah. Andrew. Was it
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have pets?
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, Brownie. Brownie, dog.
Yeah. What kind of dog?
Black and Dave's spade, about the size of her.
Yeah.
Hit a mungo.
Yeah.
Good pet though. But, wherever you saw me, he was with me
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
So he was a family dog, but he was partial to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who were you closest with in the family? Who were you closest with?
My closest friend,
Who were you from the family? Was your
My
mom,
closest
grandma, or your uncle or aunt? Who did you favor?
I like Grandma.
Yeah.
She always had that smile on her face, and when she spoke German, that smile faded.
Yeah. Did she have a temper, or did she?
No,
pretty
she
easy
didn't have
going.
no temper.
So you really knew it when.
Yeah, we knew it.
Yeah. Yeah. When my mom used my middle initial, I knew I was in for it. Mark William.
Yeah.
Oops. That's still true. When my wife uses my middle name, I know I'm in for it.
No kidding.
Yeah, pretty much. What did you do during the evenings? How did you spend your free time? When you weren't studying for school, what did you do for fun?
What I do, oh, we played handball, bat ball, stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you ever play any organized sports, baseball, or?
No, I
No.
never in anything permanent.
Uh-huh.
Just a bunch of kids get together, play handball or whatever.
Who, so McGinley was a friend of yours?
Yeah,
Joe McGinley,
yeah.
right? You remember anybody else that you used to hang around with?
What was a guy named, a kid named Matt, but I don't know what his last name was.
Yeah,
I think it was Matt.
okay. Did you get an allowance?
Allowance. You're laughing, yeah. We didn't know what that was.
Yeah. Not during that time, huh?
No,
No. If you,
no money around those days.
so you had to earn your money. When was the first time you had a nickel in your pocket that you earned?
I worked, helped around the gas station there,
Okay.
and they always give me some change. I'd sweep up or clean up or whatever.
Yeah.
They always gave me a nickel or a dime.
Was that your uncle's place?
Yeah.
Oh. What kind of station was it? What brand of gas did they serve?
Sunoco.
Oh.
Sunoco, I think it was Sunoco station.
Right in Chad's Ford?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember what street it was on?
No, I don't remember what street it was.
Was it walking distance to your home?
Yeah, I could walk the distance if I had to. But when I was young, I'd ride the bicycle.
Oh, bicycle, okay.
Yeah. Until I got my little 36 Ford convertible with a rumble seat.
Yeah.
Then I was old enough, then I had my Harley.
Oh, what color was your Harley?
Like a, wasn't red, it's
Maroon?
like maroon, yeah.
What year was it? Remember?
I think it's 37.
So was it close to being new?
No, it was used.
Used, okay.
Yeah.
So your mom worked outside the house. She worked for Dr.
Bell.
Bell.
He delivered Mary and I.
Did you contribute to the family income? Did you work anytime you earned any money, did you have to give it to mom to help with the bills?
No, what I made I kept for myself, but I did not buy what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I didn't well, I wasn't making that much money to donate anything.
What were the wages back then? How long would you have to work to make what kind of money?
Oh God, I think you had to work quite a few hours at a place that, what was it, $3 an hour
No.
at that time? I know it was cheap.
You were looking if you got 45 cents an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was $3 when I was a teen, so probably much less. When did you get your first job? I mean, you helped around the gas station, but when did you get your first full-time job?
When did I do my full-time job?
Yeah,
Change tires.
yeah. For Uncle Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my job.
Did you ever get hurt on the job? Did you ever get hurt?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
The fingers a little bit. No, never got hurt on a job.
I started my gas station job when I was 15, and it was winter, and it was the second day that I worked, and I didn't put the gas in all the way.
Oh.
And I put the clip on to hold it on full speed, and as I went to grab for it, it fell out of the car, hit the ground, and the gasoline shot up right in my face.
Oh, good.
In my eyes. It was an awakening experience. It was a mess.
Yeah.
But I learned my lessons the hard way. Never did that again.
Oh, yeah.
So then I used to jam them in there really tight. And then one summer day, the summer after, I jammed it in there so tight, when I pulled it out, the whole neck came out of the gas tank.
Oh, jeez.
And it was leaking outside of the gas can. It's like, oops. So I just pushed it back in until it stayed. 2 hours later, the guy came back. He was not very happy. He was on empty. So I learned my lesson 2 times. You make a mistake, don't try to cover it up, because it'll come back to bite you. Did you have a garden?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always had a garden.
What kind of vegetables did you grow, and what was your job in it?
Oh, tomatoes, carrots, beets. I don't know.
Corn?
Usually have about 10 or 12 stalks of corn going around the side.
Yeah.
Nothing big on corn.
So what was your job? Did you have to plant it? Did you have to till it? Did you have to pick it?
Till it.
Yeah. And of course, once it got picked, did you have to snap the beans and shuck the corn? Was that all your job as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any fruit trees? Fruit trees on the farm? Apple trees? Peaches?
I don't get you on that.
Do you have any fruit trees?
Oh, we had the apple,
Uh-huh.
we had pear, we had 2 peach trees on our property there. And they all bear pretty good fruit.
Yeah. Did Grandma can? Did she do canning? Did she do canning in the kitchen? Canning.
Mechanic.
Canning.
Oh, canning.
Yeah.
Mom and Grandma used to take some of that stuff and cook it and
Uh-huh.
can it. I guess you call it can it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Aunt Marie was big on that. We'd always come back from Virginia with lots of canned goods, vegetables, and it was great. Do you have chickens as well? Did you have chickens on the farm?
Chicken, yeah, we had chicken. We
Yeah.
had 2 roosters and 4 hens.
You have to collect the
Yeah,
eggs.
we
Was that
had
your
A
job?
lot of little ones running around.
Yeah. Were they ornery? The
That
roosters?
one was, the rooster was.
Yeah.
He'd catch any of us between the house and the spring house in our home, he's after us. But we all stuck together, he wouldn't bother us, you
Yeah.
know. So every time we had to go down to the spring house, a couple of us would go down and then come back. Oh, well, he'd be after you. I mean, he'd chase you up on your back. Mom would get ready to go downtown, and she had lace her shoes up, so she bent over to lace her shoes, that little sucker flew up on her back.
Oh.
Oh, next Sunday we have him dinner. Yeah, she said, get rid of him. He just pecked the devil all over the back, you know.
If they pecked you, would it bleed? Would it bleed? Would it bleed if he pecked you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? I've never been pecked. I mean, I've been pecked by a goose, but you laugh at them. It's like, is that all you got? What was Sunday all about?
The church day.
Yeah.
We had to go to church. Mom and grandmother, they were strict Catholics. And you went to church every Sunday, rain, shine, or whatever.
Yeah.
We get that. It was about 2 miles from church. And it was not, most of the time we walked to church.
Mhm.
The weather was too bad to take the horse and carriage.
Oh.
And it got too bad we wouldn't go at all. You know.
When your dad left, and did he take the car with him?
They took everything
Mm.
and leave nothing. Never sent no money to upkeep for us or anything else. And if it wasn't for Grandma, I don't know what we'd done. She took over and
Yeah. When did she pass away? How old were you?
see, I don't know when she passed away, to be honest with you, Mark.
Yeah.
I wish I kept some of the records of stuff. Well, you never think you're gonna need it.
What school did you go to in
I went to
Chatsworth?
Chatsworth High School.
Or you, well, not high school. You'd have been elementary school in
Elementary
Chatsworth.
school?
Yeah.
The same, you went to that same school.
Oh, it was the same school,
Yeah.
all classes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were you an altar boy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did you-
my mom and grandmother Catholic, I had to do something, so I don't know.
Yeah. Was it at the church you were baptized in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of it?
All I know is a Catholic church.
Yeah. Did you like that job?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was Christmas like?
Well, you go to bed that night. Oh, mine was wandering. I'm going to get this flexible flyer or wind bicycle. And I wake up the next morning, nothing there. Didn't have them under the body star.
Well, it was depression, right?
Yeah.
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 So what would you get? What kind of gifts would you get?
Oh, I get a little cast iron car. Yeah. And most of the clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clothing is more important than anything else. Get that little car, and that'd be about it.
If you had that car today, it'd be worth a small fortune.
Oh, God, yeah.
Anything from that era. What was your favorite toy?
My favorite toy?
Yeah.
I had a dump truck that the back was flip up.
Mhm.
I played with that quite often.
Yeah.
I had a sand pile, and I got to load up with sand, take it over there, dump it, go back. I had this couple of trips a day, you know. But that's about my life.
Yeah. Did your friends come over to play, or just?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had friends come over.
Did you guys have a pretty good imagination? Did you guys have a good imagination?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to build a castle.
And Easter, what was Easter like? Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday. Seen that thing full of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Then we all went to church, and they come back, then we could have a Easter egg.
So who would come over? Would Uncle Bill, Aunt Margaret?
Yeah, everybody get together on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
We had our kitchen, like a picnic table. It would sit about 8 people
Mm-hmm.
every holiday, and probably every Sunday. Uncle Bill and Aunt Lil and Billy and Margaret,
Mm-hmm.
they'd be over, and maybe some other company come in. Always somebody going on Sunday. And Grandma and Mom did the cooking, and us kids would sit at one table for us kids only, and that's where we had to sit while the rest were eating. That's the reason I never knew anything what was going on in the house,
Mhm.
you know.
Who else would come over?
Oh, neighbors would come
Neighbors.
over. You'd have been seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
Sit.
You remember any of the neighbors?
One of the boys, I think it was Ralph, and the girl was, her name was Elizabeth. They're the brother and sister.
Uh-huh.
But their last names, I don't remember.
What was your birthday like?
Oh, birthday's pretty good. I had
Yeah.
like birthday cake, and I was sitting there, the candles gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to blow them all out once in a while. I missed one. Usually want to know what I got for my birthday.
Uh-huh.
Well, you sit down, have your cake and ice cream. A color fella that stayed on the farm, he always made ice cream, homemade ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd make the ice cream for my birthday, and that's what we'd have it.
Did you have any cattle or cows?
Yeah, we had, let's see, 4 cows, 2 horses, work horses, and I think there was a pony there for a while, if I'm not mistaken. But we had the cows and the work horse, so we had our milk
Mhm.
every day. We had the horses that we used for plowing the field, stuff like that.
Did you eat them? Did you eat the other cattle too? Were any of them for meat?
On the cow,
Yeah.
2 cows. Just the horses we had, are 2 regular horses. And I had my dog.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
What were the summer times like without air conditioning?
It was hot.
Yeah. What'd you do to keep cool? What did you do to keep cool?
We used to have ice box. And leave that open or bring the ice out and sit on a table. And we'd sit around it until we got cool.
Oh.
Before long, that thing started melting.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go put it back in the refrigerator.
In the wintertime, did you look like that kid on Christmas Story, all bundled up? You know, how to stay warm, yeah?
Yeah, you put all the clothes on you need. Yeah, it worked a lot different than they do today, man. Everything's so easy.
Did you have a sled in the winter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. His hand-me-down one was all beat up. But Bill Loper, he fixed it up with braces on it. And made it pretty sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
I come down off that hill that had about this much drop down to the creek. Boy, you come down, whew, I should go.
Yeah.
Have more fun.
Was there one particular blizzard or tornado or flood that you remembered? A blizzard or a tornado or a flood that you remembered?
The blizzards,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. No flooding where we were. Down lower, they had flooding. We had nothing up our way.
Mm-hmm.
The old creek would fill up, they just keep going.
Well, you were pretty high ground away from the creek, as I remember seeing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that made a big difference. Oh yeah.
What were your favorite foods, and which ones did you hate?
My favorite food, I think I like about everything.
Yeah.
And nothing I hate.
You didn't hate Brussels sprouts or any of those vegetables?
Well, I don't hate them, I eat them,
Yeah.
but I don't actually hate them. We had some today, didn't we? Brussels sprouts?
Not today, a couple of days ago, we had Brussels.
I ate all of them.
Yeah.
As long as it got salt on them.
Mhm.
I had to have salt on them.
Well, this goes on, and I'll continue if you want to continue, but if you want to stop, that's okay too.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Whatever you want to do.
We'll stop.
If I give you the right answers.
Or answers. Your answers, it's all that matters.
You keep records of all this, what you did?
Not really, but let's just put it this way. I'll have a 52-year head start on you, because I started documenting stuff.
Yeah.
So Lauren can read it, you know, and because she doesn't know anything about my life as a kid, you know, there's just not enough, you know, because we were divorced and she spent most of the time with her mother. I would tell her stories all the time, but it's 1/100th of my thoughts, you know. So I started putting this stuff down on paper
Yeah.
too, answering the same questions.
Like you
But
say.
she'll appreciate it.
She will. You know, I never had those conversations with my mom, and you know, now I regret it. So, and I don't want that for Lauren. So I want to write down all the details, and you know, since I have a really good memory back to age 3. I can't remember the house on Gerald Avenue, but I can certainly remember the house on Royal Haven, and I've got about 20 or 30 memories of that house, things that went on, and I wrote them all down, you know, before I forget them.
I remember that house, we had to put the garage up on the back.
Yeah.
We had to come in at the side and turn a little bit to get to the garage. And your mom a lot of times hit the head of the house. And her smacking out.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Oh.
She crisscrossed our driveway. finishing master.
Yeah, that house that I lived in by the airport on Homeway,
Yeah.
you may have seen it one time. I was living with Big Bob, and he got all kind of strange, and I left, and I was unemployed at the time, and my practice wife had a friend that had a house for rent right after one of the runways at Hopkins. And I don't know how they ever got a car back to the garage, because it was only as wide as most cars, plus or minus a few inches. I mean, not even 8 or 10 inches, it was about 5 inches. So I just parked in the front yard because there was no way I'd get my car back there. And even as a good driver, I wouldn't have, I'd have scratched it all up. So just remembering all the places, I've moved 18 times in my life by the time I was 40 years old. And now it's 19, 20, 21 times, you know. And so I'd have to go back and think of all the apartments I lived in. I lived at Kent for a couple of years. And you know, I want to document all that stuff, just so Lauren would know.
That first house, it didn't have a garage to it. And you had to come in and go like this to get to the garage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people couldn't make that little bend there, you know.
Yeah.
Especially backing out. Oh boy, shifting gear. Oh, laugh. You have to laugh at those days, you know.
Were you talking about at Gerald Avenue when the garage was in the back?
Yeah.
Well, ours was in the back too. But I opened the door on the driver's side, and I knew if I drove on the edge of the outside of the driveway, that I wouldn't hit the house.
Oh, so you could open the door and look and see right where you were at. Yeah, yeah, that worked.
So to have the tires right on the edge.
Yeah, as a guide. Yeah. I recall when I had my '67 Cougar, my practice wife decided to drive it out of the garage that it was in, and I pulled it in. There was a big cement pole, a steel pole, holding the garage up. It was in our apartment complex, and it was one of those big, long garages with 50 or 60 suites in it, and the support was right there. Well, she got in, turned the wheel to the left, and looked over to the left and gave it the gas, and boom! Took the fender almost right off the car. It's, you know, and how do you replace a fender that's, you know, 25 years old? It's not easy. It cost me $300 to find a brand new, never been used fender, another $200 to paint it, and they never did paint it right. But everybody makes mistakes. I've made plenty myself. I'm not going to talk about them, but I've made plenty. Yeah. So we'll hit the, you know, so this is part of, you know, obviously early childhood, while in Chadds Ford. And when we talk next time, we'll finish up Chadds Ford and move on to Wilmington.
Yeah. That's when I had my 36 Ford convertible.
Yeah.
And my rumble seat and the Harley.
You know, I found, I tried to find a picture of the donut shop on Penny Hill, and the only picture I could find is the one that is there in the same place now. But what I did find was a picture of the postcard, a picture of an advertisement for the donut shop on top of Penny Hill.
No kidding.
And I'll print it out for you. And I'll print some other ones that I found, just pictures from the mid-1930s in Wilmington, and see which ones you recognize. There was a movie theater downtown, a couple of stores that were pretty popular back then.
Well, Wilmington Dry Goods was downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And the men's store, Shorts, I think was the name of it, men's store.
Shirts?
Down there.
What's it called?
Shorts.
Short.
That's
Short.
H-O-R-T-S.
Oh, Shorts, okay.
That's the name of it.
Yeah.
That's where I started buying all my clothes.
Yeah.
There.
Well, you were a sharp dresser, weren't you?
Oh yeah, it had to be just right.
Some of the pictures that I have, you just dressed really nice. So you always dressed well. People don't do that today except for special occasions.
I wouldn't go out to church on Sunday unless that crease is nice.
Yeah.
Boy, I see some going to church, baggy pants, the
Oh,
accent
yeah.
falling out of them.
Funeral in Brunswick, they showed it where these kids got killed and they were showing the funerals on the news, and they were going in shorts to the funeral.
Yeah, it's not part of the culture to dress up at all. It's part of the culture to look cool, and that's two way different things. I would never go to a wake, a funeral, without at least dress pants and a nice shirt,
Yeah.
and probably a tie. I may not wear a sport coat, but you know, back then in the 30s and all the way through probably the 60s, even if you went on a trip, you know, an airplane ride, you always dressed up. And
They had hat and gloves.
hat and gloves, yeah, yeah. And you don't see any of that. Although at Bill's son's wedding, he drove his '39 Buick down to Akron, and that was the car they drove away in.
Yeah.
And he dressed up like a chauffeur. He had a chauffeur's cap on. He had white gloves.
So he still got that?
Well, he dressed up that way.
No, I mean, he still got the...
Oh, the Buick, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll bring the video next time. I took some video on my camera, and I'll play it for you. And it looks really cool when they were driving away. He opened the door like a chauffeur, and he was all grins ear to ear for his new daughter-in-law and his son. And they just drove around the block and came back, but it was pretty cool. But it was hot. It was really hot. And he drove it down the night before, and he was going to drive it back Friday night late to avoid the heat. And because it had no air conditioning. But
The good old days.
the good old days. So we'll continue next time. We'll move on.
And I never went to school with those baggy pants on.
Oh no. What style? Did you have knickers?
Yeah, knickers. I mean, nice knickers, not baggy ones.
Yeah.
In fact, Mom wouldn't even let me wear them, I don't think.
Yeah. Did you wear a hat too? Did you always wear a hat? A hat. Did you have a cap?
Never wore a hat.
No.
The only hat I wore was in service.
Yeah.
And that way, I never cared for a hat.
Yeah. Me neither.